Hey guys, Yankee here, and today I'm going to be giving my thoughts on Tenchi Muyo Ryo-Ohki OVA 5, Episode 5. We're almost at the end here. We got one more episode after this, so things are sort of... we're moving towards where I think we're going to end, and I'll talk about that towards the end of this video. But this episode is sort of broken up into two halves, kind of. And the first half is just more Kenshi training. Kenshi, we've got like a bit of a time skip, so Kenshi is older now, and his original voice actor is back, instead of the woman that's been voicing the young version of him. So that was neat, having him come back. We're sort of seeing, like, we did like a little montage here, sort of showing where Kenshi is getting some of his skills. Like, it showed him sewing with Ayaka, it showed him doing construction with his dad, cooking with like sasami and gnocchi and stuff like that. And that reminded me of something. I think there was in War on Geminar, there was sort of like a similar little scene where we get like a montage almost, but it's only stills of sort of Kenshi just doing a bunch of things, and specifically the one that was sort of like reminded me of that show was the still of Kenshi and Nobuyuki doing construction. I think there is one in War on Geminar that is exactly like that. Like Kenshi and some other guy standing like center of the screen with stuff being built around them. So I kind of want to go back to that show and see if the other ones are not like recreations, but are sort of like drawn similar, because it reminded me of that a lot. We get a scene with, oh boy, who is it? Ringo, Minaho, Misaki, I think Funaho was there, and Kuis, I think is her name. She's like Seto's double who goes out and pretends to be Seto, I guess. I don't know. She's from the GXP novels. I don't know anything about that. But they come down to Earth because Kenshi's training is going well, so they're coming down to train with him now because they are, like, stronger, I guess, right? He's been training with, like, Ryo-Ohki and stuff, and now we're getting some characters with more training to fight him. Who was it? I think it was Misaki who fights with, like, she just stood on, like, a ball on one foot and was, like, balancing on it and still fighting, which was neat. Funaho fought with like a piece of thread, which was cool. And it's at sort of times like this where I wish this show had a bit of a better budget, because those scenes weren't terrible; they were okay. But with with some good money behind this, those scenes could have been really good. But yeah. I have this on here as a note. I don't know if I brought it up before. I think I have. Ryo-Ohki still doesn't talk, and it's weird, and I don't like it. Just let her say words. Fuku can say words. I don't know why Ryo-Ohki can't. Alright, and sort of the second half of the episode is sort of a bunch of people gathering, because Tenchi is sort of announcing that he is going to be getting married to all the girls. So we see like Mihoshi's family show up. What is Tenchi's grandmother's name? Irie. Irie shows up. Minaho, Funaho, like Azusa, they all show up. And it's sort of like this secret gathering because people in Jirai still don't know Yosho is alive. And they sort of bring that up a bit, that it's like soon they're probably going to have to come out and say that he's still alive. Seina's there. I still don't like his new voice actor. It's weird. Let's see. Other notes. So yeah, the second half is just sort of like Tenchi giving a speech, talking about sort of why he decided that he was going to marry all the girls, which at this point in the series isn't that big of a deal. We've seen a bunch of polygamy at this point. Azusa has 2 wives. Like, this isn't a big deal, except for the fact that they still live in Japan. But one thing is, I don't remember when this is from. This is from like the 90s somewhere. There is an illustration that Kajishima did of what sort of the harem ending back then did, and Noike didn't exist at that time, because this was like after OVA 1 or 2. Noike didn't exist, so she wasn't there, but Tokimi was there. But the sort of the final, like, harem Tenchi ends up with, Tokimi is not there. It's just Ryoko, Aika, Sasami, Mihoshi, Washu, Noike, and Ryo-Ohki. And that's it. We get, like, a brief, like, flashback to, was it episode 3? What, that ended with, yeah, it was episode 3, I think, where Tenchi basically was talking to the girls on the beach. And he said he had something to say to them. So we sort of see what he says there. And now they're getting married. And that's basically it for this episode. Not a whole lot happened. Not like a whole bunch to talk about. It was surprisingly light on exposition. Like we talked a little bit, but most of it was sort of Kenshi training and then Tenchi's speech. Okay, predictions. What I think is going to happen in the final episode. Which, depending on when this video gets uploaded, it'll be either right before the final episode goes up or right after. So we'll be able to see quickly. But we'll see how sort of close I was. Kenshi's getting sent to Geminar, right? That has to happen next episode. He's at the right age. At the time of me recording this, I'm recording this at the end of March. They've already released sort of like the cover art for what the final episode's going to be like, or what the final cover art of... I can't speak. They released the art that's going to be on the final cover of the final episode, right? And it has Kenshi wearing what he wore on Geminar, sort of almost front and center. Tenchi comforting Ryo-Ohki because she's sad that he's going. And then it has Rhea. And I think that's it. Nobuyuki might be on there too. I can't remember. But so Kenshi is almost certainly getting sent to Geminar next episode. What I think we might get, and what I'm hoping we get, I'm hoping that this episode wasn't like the wedding. I'm hoping this little like speech at the end wasn't, okay, now we're married. I still want a wedding. So I'm hoping first half, Tenchi's wedding ceremony. Second half, send Kenshi to Geminar. And that's it. And that'd be a great spot to end the season. It gives something to actual like fans of the actual Tenchi Muyo show. It's like this OVA has been pretty well balanced in that it's been mostly Kenshi stuff. But we've gotten a fair bit of actually Tenchi and the girls. We got some Paradise War stuff. We got some GXP stuff here and there. This season's been pretty good, and if they can stick the landing, this might be one of the better ones. As of right now, I think it's still better than OVA 3, and OVA 4, definitely. But it's been really good, and I'm looking forward to the final episode. So that's it. This is a shorter video. There wasn't really a whole bunch to talk about. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.